Part of the challenge of buying a classic car is the roll of the dice. Whether you find it at an auction,
We're going to open a bidding asking at 20,000.
or in a field,
It's missing some bits.
you really don't know what you got till you put it up on a hoist.
Putting it on the hoist tells everything.
A client of ours just bought their dream car. It's a '69 Mustang Coupe. But you know, like any used vehicle, you don't know what lies beneath.
So our customer Norm brought in a '69 Mustang for a assessment. It's something that he's been looking for years and finally bought, and was a little disappointed when he found out that our assessment showed that it needed a lot of metal work. We found that the frame rails were very soft. We had a fair bit of rot in the torque boxes and the frames. Now we're going through. Mike's going to cut them all out, put new frame rails in. We ordered all brand new frame rails for it. This is par for the course in this part of the world. Cars that get driven in the winter, assault, rust, decay. You know, you can get some Southern California cars that the underside is in better shape than the top side because it hasn't been sun soaked. Up here, it's the other way around. So this is something that we run into a fair bit. This car should be finished within about 2 or 3 months. Not all restoration work and metal work is concours. This one, we're doing it for safety, we're doing it for structure, and we're doing it just to get the guy so that he can actually use the car that he bought.
Ready?
We've got this fairly rare 1965 Parisienne four-door that's just come in. It has great sentimental value for its owner, and it's going to get a really special candy paint job.
Keep coming. And candy paint is like a transparent color that goes over like a metallic base. And when you spray that on there, it magnifies the metallic. And then your clear magnifies it even more. So you get really nice depths in your color.
A lot of people have the wrong idea about candy apple these days because you can go to your local body shop and you can look through their chip selection and there's colors that say candy apple red and candy apple this. That's not true. We do candy apple here, and it is an exhaustive process.
Keep coming. I gotta be able to get around the back of the car too. It's like a lot more work involved than just your regular metallic paint because there's 3 stages involved. No, that's good. So it's gonna be like an all-day job to do this car because it's so huge. It'll be a workout.
This takes a lot of talent to get the color, to get the saturation right, to get the flow of everything right.
And if you make a mistake, the back of the car might be a completely different return of light than the front of the car, or if somebody scratches it, every time you lay some more paint over, it intensifies and deepens the color. So candy apples can be problematic if you don't know what you're doing. Fortunately, we got a guy here in Barrie that really knows his stuff.
I just started painting when I was a kid. Used to paint cars in my dad's driveway. Paint the driveway and the house, everything. Computer will tell you how much paint to put in to mix a certain color. Like this has like 10 different toners. So if you have like a couple of drops too much, that'll change the whole color of the color you're trying to mix. Yeah, I like the challenge of doing a candy job, but if something goes wrong, then you got to start over again, so it's kind of stressful. What I do is do all the jams first, and everything will have to be all masked up, and then put back on the car. So it has usually 3 coats of the silver base, and then the transparent color, which was 6 coats. And then when I spray the candy, you have to walk down the whole side of the car without stopping, so you don't have any spots where it's gonna double up on your coats, because then you get a line there. And then 3 coats clear.
How far are we from the car with that?
About 4 inches, 5 inches.
With the metalwork complete on the '69 Mustang,
And I'm gonna bring it back.
now Mike can get the engine back in it.
We're gonna clear the hole.
Yeah.
Are those pins in line with the mount holes?
No, they're getting there.
Mike's a great find. He's been here for a few months now.
It's got to come up and kind of clink in at all at the same time.
Okay.
He is a licensed body man, and he has great mechanical ability.
Yeah, it's going down, yeah.
This car he's going to take from start to finish.
Okay, just pull it back to you, Dan, where it lines up, and I'll drop it in.
He's going to put the motor and transmission back in. He's going to get this thing running and driving, and he's a great talent.
Yeah. You're in on your side?
Yep.
Yep.
Not sticking through the bottom. Thanks. A little bit here, a little bit there. No, that's good. Yeah, full, we're in. Not my first barbecue, man.
With the engine back in the '69 Mustang, now Mike has to get the transmission in, cross member, and all the other little pieces.
They look like the right one. This stuff's pretty straightforward. I think the biggest challenge is not losing any parts, because it's hard to find parts for this stuff. You know, like for a new car, you just go to the store and order it, right? This, certain key parts, really hard to get. I pretty much built the whole underside of the car. I installed torque boxes, cut them out, put new ones in. Cut the frame rails out, put new ones in. Frame rails on the back, cut out, new ones in. And passenger and driver's floor pan. I just pretty much tied it all back together. It was a pretty rough car. Yeah, now I gotta get it running and make sure it has brakes and everything's good.
It's alive. The tune-up made a huge difference.
You ain't kidding.
You can really feel the power band in this when you step on it. You know, when it gets up in RPM, holy.
Well, the rear leaf springs, we changed the bushings because the bushings are worn out. Because we did all the frame rails and everything else, so we just put new bushings in too to keep it all nice and tight so it tracks properly. Just pulling the front drum off to have a look inside to make sure the brakes are put together correctly and there's no leaks. They look good. They just need some adjustment and a little bit of a lubrication. For an old car, you know, it's getting a makeover. The body's nice and strong now, so now it's mechanical to make sure that it's gonna run for the customer, right? So they're not broke down on the side of the road somewhere.
Well, I just finished up sewing the inside back for this Parisienne. I've been working on it for a little bit here. So now we're just gonna put the thing on and see how good it fits. Parisienne's behind me here, and it's painted in the candy apple color, which is really a nice color. And go nice with the interior. We kept it the same color inside. You can't get the seat covers for them anymore, so you have to make them up. Yeah, it's not like bucket seats. There's quite a bit much more to it. Because it's a bench seat, and it's a four-door, so there's two big seats to do. Big front seat, big back seat. I always make little notches in the vinyl. That way, once I get it together, I can see where the middle is. So it's nice and straight and even. I'm just packing some felt in the corners to puff out, make everything all nice and even. Yeah, it's quite incredible how much hours does go into the seats because there's so much small little pieces have to be sewn and everything has to be nice and straight and pulled on right and tight and stuffed properly. And not bad at all. And if you get bored, you can always use these hog rings and play Barrel of Monkeys. See how many you can get out at once. That's interesting.
Just trying to get the hood to fit in a square hole that's not square anymore. The car's been compromised over the years. It's been hit a couple times, right? So you take a square box and hit it in the corner, it gets offset. So I just have to manipulate a few things to make it look good. You know, it's not a brand new car, right? Just take a little, give a little. Closer than it was. Well, I think that's as close as I can get it.
It's alive.
That sounds great, Mike.
Cool.
With the amount of extra work that was done on it, having everything out and back in, the tune-up made a huge difference.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Oh, that was nasty before, but fired right up. I love to see that on a first start. He's got it purring like a kitten. I think she should be good to go.
Yes, we're working on it for months, resurrecting the arc. It's satisfying. It's gonna be a nice little driver for somebody.
A lot of work went into this little beauty, so now it's time for it to go home. All right, we'll take the little DZ302 up for a tour. The gentleman hasn't owned this car for very long, but everything that he's asked us to do is updated stereo. It's got Bluetooth and hands-free, and wired that in, set up the carb, set up the timing. Just little things on this one, but it's a great car. In the early 70s, you know, when the horsepowers were high, this underrated 290 horse is probably closer to 350. For the Trans Am races, they rated them at 290, the same as the 302 Mustang, which was a fair bit more than that as well. It's definitely one of the coolest cars around. The DZ302 was a high-revving, small block engine. It was 327 using a 283 crank. Brought it down to under 305 cubic inches for the Can-Am series racing. It was made so that it could go out and beat the Mustangs in these series. Just put her through its paces and make sure we got her all set up the right way. You can really feel the power band in this when you step on it. You know, when it gets up in RPM, holy. She's dialed in, everything's working good. We're ready to go home. It's too bad though, I like driving it. You don't see many of the DZ302s and you don't get much chance to drive them. This is just a joy. Well, we'll have a happy customer getting his car back this week anyway. Sad to see it go.
Well, see what I can do. What am I doing here? That's tricky, that thing. It's like trying to weld tinfoil.
So just when we thought the Mustang was ready to go home, we had a last-minute request.
I'm just trying to custom fit these fancy newer headlights to the '69 Mustang. This isn't working out. The headlights are just not exactly the right size for this application because of the car being so old. They don't exactly fit properly, so I have to custom all the rings, cut them, split them, weld them. Do a little bit of surgery.
Well, nothing's ever easy.
No.
That's what happens. I mean, this car, you figure it's ready to go, and then the customer says, hey, how about some cool halo headlights?
Sure, no problem.
They're easy. Just, I mean, all we got to do is put them in, and then you get them, and, you know, they're supposed to be the right size, but they're not quite, which is par for the course.
I guess that's what it does. I guess it only comes on when it needs to. Yeah, I just got to custom these headlight trim rings for the headlights for the Mustang. I had to cut them stainless, got to weld them back together, but I've never used this welder before, so a TIG welder. So this is my first shot, so I figured I'd try and weld a couple pieces of metal together first and see if it works, because I don't want to wreck that ring. Well, see what I can do. What am I doing here? I got the arc to go and everything, but it just won't do anything. Well, I'm gonna have to get Talon because I can't make it work. I just want to watch what you're doing, so.
Yep. So I start with the pedal right off, and then
Are you touching it?
it's touching, and then I'm just gonna lift it 1 millimeter. So that's just barely pressing the pedal there at all.
Let me just try it once and see.
There you go. That's touchy, eh?
Yeah, it is.
You almost got to sit down with a 6-pack and just practice for a couple hours.
Yeah, because your arm's got to be right. You know what? I think maybe I get you to tack my work together for me.
No
that
problem.
way I'll learn out later.
Yeah, well, no, like it's got to be practice.
I'll get it. It's not like a MIG where you can just point and go. That's tricky, that thing. It's probably easier with heavier walled steel. It's like trying to weld tinfoil. All right, cool. Thanks, Tom.
No problem.
That'll work.
That looks flawless. Absolutely flawless.
It was a workout painting it, that's for sure.
Once you get her into second gear, she really takes off. And that's just the excitement of driving it. Just got to drag a gas station behind you all the time.
That's it.
Well, we got this seat here. We're gonna put it in the Parisienne. It's not the seat you could get out of a box because it would have taken 8 months. So we had to do this by hand. Thing of beauty.
So she's all painted and polished. She looks good. Looks really good. Barry finished the 65 Parisiennes candy paint jobs, and it's stunning. That looks flawless. Absolutely flawless.
Turned out really good. Looks like a nice, rich blood red almost.
That's a lot of car, a lot of material.
Oh, yeah. It was a workout painting it, that's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll bolt the seat in, get the door panels on, get the glass in, and she's ready. Fires right up. The headlights work. I like that dual exhaust on there. Ah, she's pretty much ready to go home. Look at the raw power under there. And these ones are the ones you feel bad about when the customer comes in and says, hey, I just bought this car, and then you put it up in the air and find out that it is rotten. Because he loves the car, this is the car that it was his dream for a lot of years. We went ahead and replaced it all. And he's added his own little ideas to it. He wanted the little orange stripe on it, and he has a farm, and he has rams, so he put his ram skin on the seats. He calls it his Batmo. It's not quite the Batmobile, but he calls it the Batmo. He likes the black and put a little hood scoop in the middle. He's got good value for his money now, and it's gonna be something that he can keep and enjoy and drive, get in the car community, and you know, be happy with. All right, Jim, well, here she is, ready to go.
Baby, look at her.
Oh,
Okay.
she's shining.
Oh,
It looked good when it came in, so we
my
just
little princess.
did the little clean up.
Oh, she looks great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. When I was 21 years old, I had a 1969 SS 350. Well, I waited an awful long time. I waited 50 years to find this car again. When I found it, I was just in awe. Eh? Smiles, smiles, and smiles. That's all I was. I call her Alice, and I'm in love with it. I really am. It's a beautiful car, and it's really special. It brought back a lot of memories when I was young.
And the stereo's in there, and Now you'll have your Bluetooth, so we can stream right from your phone into it, and there's also a speaker up in the front corner here, so when you're driving, you can do hands-free talking, and it comes through the speakers as well.
Magic, magic. I love the 69 Camaro because of the style, the look of it from the front. It looks mean, and it drives awesome, and it is very fast. Man, oh man.
Now you can get out and drive it.
I'm ready.
I'm glad.
I'm ready.
Yeah. And he's got the motor dialed right in. I did the final road test on it, and it just purrs like a kid.
Yeah, good, 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 good.
And that, you know, nice sweet spot in that 45, 5,500 range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, well, when I get it, once you get her into second gear and you really hammer it down, she really takes off. And that's just the excitement of driving it.
Loves that RPM range.
You don't want to baby them.
No.
Yeah, that's what you buy it for, is to drive it.
That's right.
Yeah, just got to drag a gas station behind you all the time.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't check the mileage. I don't really care. I get on it, I open it up, I have some fun. And that brings back a lot of memories. Thank you very much.
No problem. It's been great.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
I will roll.
I'm jealous that you're driving away in it. I really didn't want it ever to go home.
Well, it'll miss you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. We'll be in touch. I'll bring you back next year.
Perfect.
Thank you.
See you
See
now.
ya.